how do we go beyond running an IT platform to transforming or really rocket powering a business model? And that's the Monetize set of capabilities. So to start with, we must be executive partnered. Not that that doesn't help in stabilizing and optimizing as well. I think it's just critical here. And again, there are blind spots that, from the perspective of where IT sits, they're not going to understand what the strategy of the company could look like, should look like. They may know what things might be possible. Here are new capabilities. Here are things we think our customers might be interested in. That's the partnership, because the business executives may not know those things. But do they make sense? Would they really grow our market share? Is it a meaningful revenue stream that we think is worth going for, or is it just crumbs on the floor that we spend a lot of money for not much gain, right? Is it strategic? Not just a plan, but do we have desirable, meaningful, achievable long-term goals, and is everything we're doing leading toward that? It's good sort of organization to have a plan. If that plan is really game-changing, now we have something, right? So is it strategic, and is it innovative? Things are moving so fast in this economy. If you are not drawing out the best new innovative ideas from everyone on your team, the likelihood that you can really move the needle and compete against companies who do have that is low. We've got to have, it's a culture, it's a process, it is a mindset, it's leadership to understand that if people feel safe to throw out what might be a crazy idea, half-baked maybe idea, if they feel safe to throw that out, you open up the possibility that someone else hears that, and maybe they have the other half of the half-baked, and you've got a hybrid solution that is just unlike anything else. Are we data focused? That's not just IT, that is the entire organization. Is there a recognition that data is a strategic asset? Is it treated as such? Or do people think about putting data into the system as, let's put in what we need to put in order to get accounting what they need, and get payroll what they need so I can get paid, right? If it's sort of a means to an end and let's do the minimum possible, you haven't achieved that data mindset. That it varies widely, honestly, from industry to industry. But there are so many who may not even realize the value that data can bring, whether it's the insights we talked about, whether it's new revenue stream, new products, the ability to create AI models. You need that data. You need it complete and cleansed and enriched. When you get there, you'll be amazed at what it can do. Are we rote automated? So there are so many processes, even still after how many decades of IT work in the corporate world, there are still people in knowledge worker jobs, white collar jobs, sitting in front of computers doing the same process over and over. And a lot of them are simple enough that the rules could be written on an index card. We're certainly better than we were in the 80s and the 90s, but those things are there. And so let's first of all, let's elevate what human beings are doing in the organization. Let's get them out of this, just turn your brain off and just turn the crank. Get them into judgments, insights, decision-making, where human beings are needed, right? And you may need fewer of those people on the team if you get to that level. And secondly, let's get the consistency and the speed that automation brings, because once you get there, whether it's robotic process automation, whether it is direct system-to-system communication, which is just proliferating so fast these days, one way or another. Experimenting. So this one is probably the lowest average score of any that we see. It's just, it's hard for business people to invest in multiple solutions, right? It feels like reinventing the wheel. I understand. I've had those conversations dozens of times, and our consultants, we just see it a lot. What we need to realize is it's not the same wheel being invented, and that when you start parallel tracks, especially on something extremely complicated, I think it's the most innovative, most challenging, maybe the most impactful at the end of the day that need this. Are the systems and models predictive? So having descriptive reporting, dashboarding, visualization, great first step. That's optimization. You need that. If you go to predictive, you're at the next level. Now you are, in the words of Wayne Gretzky, you're skating to where the puck is going to be. And I think it's a great analogy because it paints 1,000 words. Everyone wants that. How do you get there? Predictive models. And again, back on data focused and treating data as the asset, the fodder for making those models really accurate and effective. Really, it's all about data. Self-improving, related concept. So once you have a model, once you have the data to train your AI, and then you turn it loose in the real world, it will have, my guess is, what I've seen, it will have mixed results. There'll be some things that really raise eyebrows and people say, wow, okay, that I would not have thought of that, but it makes sense, and the customer loved it. There are going to be other things come out of that AI model that are really not aligned to reality. Maybe it was data issues in your training data set. Maybe it was a blind spot. Maybe you're trying to do a brand new product or service there's really not a lot of data about. Whatever the case, you need the feedback loop. You need this sort of structure where you learn from what happened. You use the past to predict the future, but then the past is a forward marching line. Commercial is everything that we've talked about here, going to monetizing. Have you achieved it? Do you have a commercial offering, right? That's a zero until you get to the point where you are selling data insights, or you're selling that extra, service advisor module on your software package. Do you have that? And, is there some kind of revenue stream coming in? And are you treating it like it is a revenue stream, and really marketing it and road shows and all of those things? And is it profitable? Final step. You get profitability, that really, the virtuous cycle can kick in, and you begin to have self-funding initiatives where it makes sense to make it better because it's paying for itself, and there is a competitive moat being deepened and widened with every step you take